when Tom Cartwright agreed to write a local interest piece for the Surrey Gazette. He didn't expect to be investigating a ghost story. "We're short for the April edition," his editor had said. "Dig up something charming. A spring fair or a local legend. Maybe something ghosty, people love that." That was how, on the last day of March, Tom found himself driving toward the ruins of Haversham Hall, recorder in one pocket and a Tesco egg sandwich in the other. He didn't believe in ghosts. Never had. The estate was fenced off, but the lock had rusted. He stepped through, the gate groaning behind him. Ahead, the skeleton of the once grand house loomed in silhouette, surrounded by nettles and brambles. The tower, once the centerpiece, was long gone, but the foundations remained. So did the air, thick, watchful. He'd read the stories, of course. Everyone had. The bell tower that rang once a year, even after it had been demolished. The April ball of 1891. Lady Agatha Havisham found barefoot atop the tower, hair turned white overnight. "He rang for me," she'd whispered. A perfect bit of village folklore. He began his interviews that afternoon. "Do I believe it?" asked Terry Mullen, the retired groundskeeper. He lit a cigarette with hands that trembled. "I heard it. Clear as anything. One toll from the ruins. But the bell's gone, in it been gone 50 years. Tom smiled politely. Could it have been an animal? Wind through the stone. Terry didn't blink. It weren't wind, and it weren't natural. Something down there wants to be remembered. He stubbed out the cigarette, eyes glassy. You know what the worst part is? The ringing's not the scary bit. It's what comes after. Later, in the pub, Tom found a woman in her 50s who remembered the sixth former, Alan Fry, the boy who'd spent the night at the ruins last year and never spoken again. He used to work at the co-op, she said. Lively lad. Loved football. Now he just stares. Won't go near running water. Flinches at doorbells, as if sound itself hurts him. She hesitated. His mates said they never saw a mask, but they heard footsteps. Wet ones. They ran, but Alan tripped near the well. By the time they looked back, he was gone. That evening, Tom sat in his hotel room, typing notes. He intended to write the whole thing up as an April Fool's feature. Light tone, bit of folklore, end on a knowing wink. But something about the testimony unsettled him, especially the recurring image of the masked man, always soaking wet, always silent. On impulse, Tom packed a thermos of tea and drove back to Haversham Hall, just to see. For colour, he told himself. It was 11:35 p.m. The ruins were colder than before. The clouds hung low, and the wind moved with strange restraint, like it was holding its breath. Tom stepped carefully through the gravel and weeds toward the foundation where the bell tower had once stood. The well was nearby, covered now with rusted iron grating and wrapped with danger unsafe tape. He approached it cautiously, peered in. Nothing but blackness. He turned back and set his thermos on the stone. Scribbled a few lines in his notebook. Local legend. Tower demolished 1973. Bell still heard. Toll once at midnight, every April 1st. Possibly underground echo. Interview locals for conflicting versions. His pen froze mid-sentence. He heard it. A single, resonant bell. Deep and distant, but clear. It echoed from somewhere beneath the earth, vibrating through the stones, through his boots, into his bones. Tom checked his watch. Midnight. Exactly. The night held stillness, like a breath caught in the throat of the world. Then came the second sound. Footsteps, wet, deliberate, slow, squish, scrape, squish. Tom turned his torch toward the tree line. Nothing, just mist. Then he saw movement. A figure emerging from between the crumbled columns of the old house, tall, drenched. Something glinted on its face, white and smooth. A mask, bone white, featureless. The eyes were simply holes, hollow. But Tom felt them fix on him. He backed away, stumbling against the low wall of the foundation. "Hey, this is private land." The thing kept coming. It didn't speak, didn't rush, just walked toward him, water dripping from its cuffs, leaving no trail behind. Tom turned and ran, but his foot snagged on a buried root and he went sprawling. His torch clattered away. In the dark, the air was thicker, oppressive. He could feel the thing drawing closer, not walking anymore, but somehow gliding, as if space bent for it. A hand touched his shoulder, cold, heavy. Then, the bell tolled again, but this time it was inside his head. A sound without origin, a sound like stone grinding on bone. He screamed. They found him just before dawn, wandering the A-road barefoot, clothes soaked, eyes blank. He didn't remember his name. Not at first. In the hospital, when asked what had happened, he only muttered one thing. He had no eyes, but he saw me. The doctors wrote it off as exposure, exhaustion, but the nurses kept their distance. One said he refused to sleep if the lights were off. Later, when he recovered his senses, Tom returned to London. He never wrote the article. The Surrey Gazette ran a recipe for rhubarb crumble instead. But every year since, Tom receives a letter. No return address. Always handwritten. Always the same words. Midnight. Just once. Listen closely. And now it's April again. They say the bell still rings at Haversham Hall, though the tower is gone and the well is sealed. No one hears it but the marked, and if you've heard it once, you'll hear it again, just once. At midnight, listen carefully, because this time he might not just be calling, he might be coming.